at the 971theticket.com.
The following is a paid program. Views expressed on this program are not necessarily those of CBS Radio, its sponsors, or affiliates.
There he is. Good morning. Welcome to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show, brought to you by Capital Mortgage Funding. I'm your host, Harvey Fried. Across the way, Alex Nefouse. Hey, Alex.
Hi, buddy. Good morning.
Good morning to you. What's going on, brother?
Everything's good. How about you?
Absolutely wonderful. What a gorgeous day outside.
You behaving this week?
I'm trying to. We brought in our special real estate agents for the day, Lee and Noel Bittinger from the Bittinger team out there in Canton. Good morning, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Morning to you. Hello. Thanks for having us.
All right, now we bring a ton of experience here this morning. Of course, we're going to be taking your calls live in the studio at 248-539-9797. Always at Capital Mortgage at 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. Lee and Noel are definitely going to be telling you, yes, you want to be approved first, and then give the qualified real estate agents. Hey, guys, really, thanks for joining us here. And you guys have so much going on and so much a wealth of knowledge out there. I know, Noel, you and I talked about, I can't really see it too well over there, but we talked about a lot of fun stories in real estate.
Is she over there?
Yeah, she's over there somewhere behind all these computer screens. She is.
Here.
Just a wealth of knowledge, and again, so many transactions you guys have been involved with. I personally just met you recently. We did a couple transactions throughout my 26 years of doing business. But again, when a transaction goes really smooth on the listing side, if you don't have to even call that lender, then of course that's a pretty good thing. So
It's always good.
How'd you guys meet? What deal was it?
Well, we have done lots of deals over the years, but we kept it short.
Right?
No, we don't have a great story.
You don't bring it up on the radio.
No. Well, we got tons of stories to share with you, though. That's for sure.
Can I hear one?
Mortgage rates, we'll talk about it later. Okay, mortgage rates are still down. Of course, they are shining. The lowest levels in 2017. We talked about some things, Lee, and you brought in a lot of stats, even just to start off with the show. Are some people still hesitating on moving forward with a home purchase?
Absolutely. We get so many online leads, it isn't funny. And our agents are talking to these people, and everybody says that, well, not everybody, but a lot of people are saying, this reminds me of the old days. It reminds me about 10 years ago. That bubble went up and it came down, and I'm not getting caught in that again. And this is a bubble. We're seeing it again. I'm waiting for a couple of years, I will tell you. And actually, I've put together some data so that you guys can see it. And anybody that's listening out there, if you go to Bittinger.com, BITTINGER.com/MarketData, that's a blog. It goes to a blog that we have that's all about market data right now. 56% of the people out there are predicting a bubble in the next year or two. It just isn't the case. All the experts are definitely, and I've got data right here that show home price expectations definitely going from here to 28.8% increase. Now, that's optimistic.
It's mathematically impossible.
Over the next 3 years, to a pessimistic 6.7% over the next 3 years. Now, that's ending
that sounds
up
more in line.
Yeah. But somewhere in between there is no bubble. The prices will not go down.
We definitely have a lack of new construction out there and opportunities. One of the things I was thinking about last night is often we talk about all the professional real estate agents that we're dealing with, and Noel, we talk about this all the time. Even after you sell your house, then where do you go? Where are you moving to? And is that also one of the problems we're having is you're apprehensive about selling because you just don't have where you're moving to. And they just don't have 100. We need to build a whole bunch of ranch communities, probably because we have an aging population.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that the number one issue that we have usually is, well, first of all, many of the buyers that give us a call are looking for ranches or some sort of first floor master bedroom. But the biggest issue really is the fact that, what do you do first? Do you sell the home first, or do you buy something first? And then there's all the finances involved with that. And I always tell people that if you can, and if you can economically manage it, then of course go out and purchase that home first, because it's such a seller's market. And when it's a seller's market, then that means that it's going to be tough for them to find something. There's so many more buyers out there that are bidding on these homes, and not enough homes on the market, obviously, because of that inventory issue. So if they can do it, then yes, see a lender first, see if you can manage both payments for at least a short period of time. We'll quickly put their home on the market. If it doesn't sell in that timely manner, then it'll sell eventually, of course. And it has to show well. First, when I get there and I'm talking to them, then of course, if I feel that it needs a lot of work, they've got to get that stuff done before they even start any of the process. It works out fine.
We're going to talk about the procedure and the process of that, because I think this is where I want to head this morning, too. It's really help some families out there do the right thing. And I think, again, if you can qualify to be approved to purchase a new home without selling your existing one, again, it's for a short time, and we're going to talk all about that. Hey, Alex, let's move off to some calls to start things off here this morning. We got Jesse calling in on a cell phone. Hey, Jesse, good morning. Welcome to our show.
Hey, good morning. How you doing?
Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I just had a question. I got a house that I'm upside down on. It's in Redford. It's probably worth 80, 70, according to the comps. My renter right now, she wants to possibly buy it, but me being upside down, I owe about probably 110, 105 on the home. Is there a way to do like a land contract, or am I kind of screwed by that? How does that work?
No, you can totally do a land contract. I mean, that's a great way to go, man. I mean, if you're upside down on it, you obviously can't sell it, for more than the home is worth, but you can totally do a land contract. Absolutely.
Okay,
and that makes her the actual owner of the property legally.
Okay, and I guess is there a way maybe we can talk off air sometime?
Oh,
and,
yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Something work? Okay.
Yeah, 100%. 100 low rate. I can call after the air and off the air, and I'll take care of it for you, man.
Yeah, no problem, Jesse. It sounds like a good idea.
It's a good call, man.
Okay.
All right.
Cool. Thank you.
Thank you, Jesse.
Great. I'm going to fill in some holes on that question. 248-539-9797. Interesting thing, of course, if you want to sell your house on a land contract, and if you already owe $100,000 and let's say it's only worth $80,000, well, yeah, that family's going to have trouble getting a mortgage in the next year or two. But you can set up the land contract to put a price on the house for the future. You could put on there that I can sell it on a specific date at a certain loan amount, but it's something that's probably an ongoing transaction because of the fact that, right, if you write on there that you have to pay me off within 4 years and the house doesn't appraise out and the buyer doesn't have means to get a mortgage and can't make up the difference, then we'd have some trouble on that. So again, we see a lot of families actually on the buyer side really putting themselves in a bad predicament.
I don't know if that's actually going to come back, to be honest with you, Redford. I mean, I like the area. I mean, if it was 110, depending on how big the house is,
it could be a lot,
It's
right?
going to be a stretch to come back.
Different areas, and you guys are the experts over there on that side of the wood. There was quite a few
Well,
homes.
I'll tell you, he the best thing that he can do is get a proper evaluation on a house. He may be worth way more than 80. He just doesn't know it. Maybe he's talking. I hear people say, "Yeah, my neighbors have sold for this. My neighbors have sold for that." Sometimes it's their impression of value is over what it really is, but many times it's under. And that's what a lot of times people don't know. The increases in prices over the last couple of years have been tremendous.
Right.
And again, I have that data on there. Hate to
No, I love it.
Hate to point the data all the time. Noel and I are engineers, What can I tell you? But across that thing, I have a chart in there that says house prices up 6.6% across the country, but it breaks it down by state. You know what? Michigan increased. Now this is year over year.
Yeah.
8%.
Oh, that's good.
That's unbelievable. Now that's across the state.
Right. Don't always expect to see 8% appreciation here year after year.
You're going to see different appreciations. Even in our area, you'll see different appreciations. Like Redford will have a different appreciation than Plymouth or Northville. Novi has been appreciating like crazy.
Right.
So depending on the area.
Right. We take all your calls here, 248-539-9797. Love to hear from some buyers out there and sellers. If you're having trouble selling your house, Noel and the Bittinger team, she's got an unbelievable program. She's probably going to touch on it sometime here this morning. Again, always get the professionals involved in the transaction. I like what Lee said. Don't always go with what you think's out there. Find out, have a true professional take a look at it for you. Hey, let's move off to Mike out there in Farmington. Good morning, Mike. Welcome to our Hardcore Mortgage Show. Go ahead, sir.
Good morning.
Hey, buddy, what's up, man?
Like I was telling the guy who answered the phone, I've been in my house for about 5 years. It's in Southfield. I bought it about 5 years ago for $144. Zillow has it estimated at about $210 now. And I wanted to pulling equity out of the house to do some home repairs to it. I did one of the bathrooms, but the house has 3 bathrooms. I did one. I wanted to do the other 2.
917, if you're just joining us. Another version of the hardcore mortgage real estate business show talks about capital mortgage funding. And you take your calls live in the studio, 248-339-9797. Really a light show today. We're excited to have your calls, and let's move off to Scott and Wyandotte. Hey, Scott, good morning. Welcome in. Go ahead.
Good morning.
Morning,
What's up,
sir.
Scott?
2009, when the economy went down, I lost all the equity in it. It's finally built itself back up to being worth about what I paid for it.
Value of your dollar is worth more than the future value. So any money you get now is worth more than even thinking about what you could get in the future. So if you're asking us to predict what's going to happen in 5 years, I'm going to tell you this. I think the market is at a high. Right now, we're in a 6th year of a 5-year cycle. It's been strong since January.
Capital Mortgage Funding. Give us a call, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker. That's 569-7283. Got to get that approval letter first. I'll say it's about
But I just had a question about this land contract. It's always been to my knowledge, the last several years, if someone sold on a land contract, if they did mention to someone about land contract.
I just wanted to throw that in. Yeah, no doubt. All mortgages
I'm
have.
going to hang up because I can't hear.
Thank you for the call. Yeah, I'd like to add that into it. Yeah, mortgages do have due on sale clause. It's nice to throw that out there. Yes, if you currently have a mortgage, you enter into a land contract and you go ahead and record it. Yes, the lender could call you up.
They can
and
call
say,
the note too. Yes.
Yeah, you know it's due right now.
Clause.
I'll tell you this.
Yeah, but Harvey, if you put your mortgage into an LLC,
okay,
same thing can happen.
Right, because you are transferring the title into something else. So, yeah, I'm going to say this, generally speaking, you got to be careful. You got to hire a real estate attorney and make sure that you figure all those things out. A lot of land contracts aren't recorded, and sometimes they're not recorded maybe till that year in which the family has to establish that it's been that they've been living there for 12 months or 6 months. Right. But, yeah, you know. I
love that he said that we had deals with capital that all went really well.
Oh, that's a good part of it.
That's good, yeah.
Yeah, there's no doubt. If you make the payment. Go ahead.
No, fire away.
No, short sales.
Too many computers. There's too many screens everywhere. I can't.
Now,
really, there are some
unbelievable.
out there.
Yeah, they are out there.
Why are they shut on the house? For what reason?
All you have to do is, first of all, the guy should definitely get an appraiser by. As the prices have come up, we've been able to sell them because values are there. They're valued more than a mortgage. However, anybody can rent out anything. Mortgage company has nothing to do with it, as you probably know.
Okay.
So he can continue to rent it out as long as he pays his mortgage is fine. But if his mortgage is 110 and he thinks his value is 80, and if he does have some kind of hardship, he can be helped out with a short sale.
Yeah, we did see a lot of the families take advantage of the HAMP program. The HAMP program is a home affordable modification, right? Yep. So they're able to modify their note. We've actually seen some principal reductions. I had a client who just closed last month. I told him, I said, I haven't seen too many of these where they, sure enough, it was a large institution, a big box bank. They went ahead and actually, because part of the HAMP program, he qualified, and some families were awarded. I don't know why they chose one family over the other, but they actually just paid off the home principal balance.
Right.
They knocked it down, remodified the loan, and here he's back refinancing his house and doing some other things. So a lot of opportunities out there. 248-539-9797. We always talk about home ownership, but the opportunities out there because you can truly get into a house. But just so many opportunities out there. When I bring agents on, it's sort of reminding you guys even to say, hey, when you sit down with somebody, some of the families still think that they need these larger down payments. Right. And there's a little bit of knowledge gap there where we have to tell people that's not always how it works. So, again, we'll take your calls here. 248-539-9797. Let's move off to Brandon.
Very happy. I'm looking to move in with the fiance. She has a really nice house in Sterling Heights, and I know the market's up right now. And I bought the house.
Market.
The last time I actually haven't had my first estimate when I first bought the house, I bought it for like about $50,000. It was estimated at $55,000. But now I think with the market up, I've been checking, and I don't know how reliable Zillow is or anything like that, but they're saying it's about 80.
Zillow's not reliable.
Yeah,
Not too reliable.
Forget it.
Brady, can you finish the work on the house or on the kitchen? I mean, how much is left?
Yeah.
Honestly, not much.
That's-
Of course,
just
the
finish
house
it
is
up.
old,
Yeah.
Not
so
only
I need another couple $1,000 and it's done. It's,
get it done. Get it done.
Without a doubt.
Yeah, put the $2,000 into it and just be done with it, man. Absolutely.
Hey, Brandon, I'm going to Noel and Leo give you a call after the show and see what's going on. They'll do a market analysis for you, tell you what's going on in the area, and throw a sign up for you if you want to get it sold. We can put a plan together where you get the house sold and you maximize your dollars out of it. That would be key.
Yeah.
But let me say
that's exactly what I'm. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
The other thing is that, I tell people all the time that, yes, you can put it on as is. Now, of course, it has to be, you're saying you only have a few thousand to do, which is fine. If not, then the mortgage people here are telling you that you can't sell it this way. But you're beyond that, so that's fine. But if you sell it the way it is right now, that's fine and dandy. I always give people that option if they don't have the funds to do it. However, if you can, then absolutely get the stuff done and get it showing as nicely as possible. The issue with selling it as is there's no question that the buyer is going to make an offer that's so much lower than what you would normally get if you put the money into it. If you put the $2,000 or $3,000 into it, you will get
a home in your price range. You're looking at first-time home buyers. They're working with minimal down, and they really need to get into the house in more of a moving condition. But we'll get it on the market for you. It's a great call, man. Appreciate it.
$1,000. I mean, just finish the kitchen. I mean, there's no reason not to. Like, it's a great word, horribilize. Yeah. They're going to go after you and say it's going to be $10,000 when it's probably a couple $1,000 to finish.
Exactly.
Well, not only that. I mean, even the most beautiful houses that you put on the market, sometimes people don't have the right furniture in there. It's not staged properly. Just stages. Spend a couple of $100 on a stager. It could make $10,000 a difference in the sale price of the house.
Yeah,
well, because everything is dependent on. The price is basically dependent on how quickly a home sells. If it stays on the market for a long period of time, I assure you it's going to sell lower than it would have if it were to sell.
Already, plenty to share with you here. Listening to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show by Cap Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker in the 17th year. Of course, we are now doing. They extended this past week. The HARP loans, believe it or not, were extended. They were due to expire September 30th of 2017. Now, I got to tell you, there's not many families out there that haven't taken advantage of the HARP loans.
Why have you not done that yet?
But there are a few out there. And again, there's so many people out there that don't take advantage of refinancing. If you've been paying on a 30-year mortgage, you're already 7 or so years into it, very likely you could remove the mortgage insurance, knock your term down, knock years off your mortgage, and get a great interest rate. So lots of opportunities out there, but the water. So it's not for everybody, but we can give Capital Mortgage a call. We'll definitely qualify you.
You got to remember, too, man, the first and second mortgages, if both loans were used to acquire the property and you had...
Yet it can really cost you a lot of money. We talked about it a little bit before the show, too, Kyle. There's some interesting things out there and angles about it. Give me your opinion on, if you're out there and you're in a good market,
I'm going to be there to cover you. This is what I do. This is why I'm here. You don't have to worry about anything. I will take it all on myself. You're my client now. You're my family. I'm going to treat you as this, and I'm going to get this done for you.
Sausage Company. Lions and Tigers both take an L last night. We'll start with the Lions. Tom Brady and his Patriots jumped all over the Detroit defense in the first quarter. They hang 24 points early. Matt Stafford got Detroit on the board in the second with a perfect 4-for-4 on a 6-play, 80-yard drive right before half. He'd throw another touchdown in the third. The Lions actually had a late lead in this one, but a Pats field goal from 45 yards out with 2 seconds to play gives New England a 30-28 win. Here's Lions safety Glover Quinn on the rough start.
We didn't make those plays, and it was 24-0. You can be down 24-0.
And meanwhile, the Tigers a day removed from their base brawl with the Yankees Thursday afternoon. They were on the south side of Chicago last night to see the White Sox, and despite...
Good morning and welcome back. It's 9:32. You should listen to the Hardcore Mortgage Real Estate Business Show brought to you by Captain Lowe's. If you got a lot of equity, you're looking to do a home project, maybe consolidate your first and second mortgage, give us a phone call. We'll hook you up with all sorts of great numbers and show you ways to save money. There this week, it's really cool stuff. Hope to do some business with you. And again, we'll share some referrals and try to make some families happy and show them the way to home ownership. Let's move off to some calls here. First, we'll try
mortgage paperwork. I'm selling a house in St. Clair Shores, going to buy a house in Macomb Township. What do I need to get everything in a row? Because right now what I'm doing, so what exactly do I need to get ready so that when I'm, I'd like to get somebody in here to get an estimated value for both homes. What's my next step, I guess, is my question.
Well, hire an agent is your next step for sure.
Yeah. On the mortgage end of things, I like when you talked about the mortgage paperwork. There's about 7 the list of about 6 items. But for all the listeners out there, it's typically 2 years of your tax returns. And again, if you have 1099s or W-2s, those are needed. And you want all the paperwork should be in its complete form. All the mortgage people are going to like what they're hearing this morning. So your bank statements, if you have 6 pages, you need all 6 pages. 2 months bank statements. We call it the theory of 2. 2 pay stubs, 2 bank statements. Your 2 years of your tax returns.
Tom, let me jump in real quick. What do you mean about paperwork, man? I mean, what do you asking about mortgage paperwork?
Yeah, like that kind of stuff.
No? You just like the documentation needed to get a mortgage?
Yeah, to get the mortgage, because I don't even know, I've had an agent walk through, and she kind of gave me a him and haw, and okay, it's worth about this much.
I would not hire her then. If you get that vibe out the gate, do not hire her.
There's no hemming and hawing here.
Yep.
Hey, Tom, because we have agents
she's pretty well known in the area.
Oh, okay. Did she come over with all the comps?
Why is she hemming and hawing then? Yeah.
Well, obviously she had a busy day that day, and the house is...
You know what? You need to fire... Don't even agents.
Absolutely. Go ahead, Noel.
Maybe I need to understand a little bit more. When you say hemming, is she just commenting on the things that you have to do to get the home ready?
Yeah, basically.
34 years now, and I understand and I recognize that when we go to a home, and I tell homeowners that before we ever get out there, that you don't have to impress me. I mean, I I can see.
I try to impress you.
Yeah, I know.
All right.
So does Lee all the time, but it doesn't work.
Yeah, girl, that's what I'm talking about.
However, it does. I mean, I can overlook those things, and it's the buyers that you have to impress. And my job is to come over there and tell you what you do need to get done in order to make it as impressive as possible and as showable as possible. So hopefully that's what she was doing.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
All right. That sounds good.
Tom, you should never get a vibe with someone's hemming and hawing. You know, I mean, you should feel like she wants to represent you, and and has your best interest in mind.
Well, she gave me some comps, and it just didn't seem like she was really all that interested that day. And maybe it was early in the morning. She wasn't. She
hungover or
coffee,
something?
whatever.
Yeah.
You never know what people's.
But if you're comfortable with the people that you're working with, as Noel and Lee will tell you, you definitely need a professional real estate agent in there. And again, there are differences. I like to work with the top 10%. There's humongous differences in the professionalism that you see, and again, the way they go about things. And again, sometimes that's a giveaway. And again, I don't want to throw anyone under the bus. Tom, thanks for the call again, too.
Thanks,
but Noel, isn't it true that sometimes that's the same person that's going to be calling the counter offer, calling the other agent? And if again, everyone's got these personalities. I'm not for, again, up to 6 months. What I like about the program, it has a free float down option. For example, had you entered into the contract with us and the rate was, around the election time, it was about 4 3/8, an idea of what mortgage rates are. Hey, let's move off to a call here. We got, let's try Joe first. We got Joe out in Roseville. Good morning, Joe. Go ahead, sir.
Hi, how you guys doing?
Good morning, man.
Question for you about a mortgage. I am, divorced 10 years ago. Credit was shot. Been renting ever since, and I wanted to go get a house. And did the Credit Karma thing, and my credit was like 614, just terrible. And but mainly because I don't have any credit history of the last 10 years. And but one thing that I did find I didn't know I had is a tax lien. How do I get rid of the tax lien?
You pay it?
Is that you're talking about a federal paying it or documenting that you don't owe it?
But aren't we talking about two different things? Is he talking about are you more concerned about the tax lien being on your
property?
That's a stick of bubble gum with the tax lien.
Joe, I'm happy to help you, man. What I'll do, I'll call after the show, get some information from you, and I'll run your credit, and we'll put you on the right track. I mean, we have to work.
Come back. We're going to show you how to become a homeowner and make it real simple for you. Keep it here on 97.1 The Ticket.
No matter where you live, we want to do your mortgage too. That's Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW-RATE, the best mortgage banker.
Man, it's definitely summer. Hey, I don't care if the kids are going back to school. We got at least another month of this gorgeous weather. Get out there and enjoy. If you haven't gotten your approval letter, be sure to call Capital Mortgage Funding, 1-800-LOW 30 days. And trust me, all the great real estate agents out there want to know that you've got a real approval from Capital Mortgage Funding. We close transactions. That's the key. Hey, let's move on to some calls here. And if you want to join this
mortgage.
And they subordinated the second.
Right.
Okay.
So, I still have the second one that I've been paying on.
What's the balance on the first and second, buddy?
Together, it's $230.
Okay. And the house worth $500 or $550?
$550. Yeah.
Okay. Good. I like it so far.
Okay.
Did they say why they wouldn't do it?
Annual income, I have me and my partner. He is roughly around $500,000 a year. I'm around $200 Corp.
So he's an S corp. So I wanted to, there's going to be an income issue what you're showing right there. So I would like to see your 1040s and see what the actual bottom line is, your adjusted gross income, because it sounds like there might be.
Change a life. With just $10, you can ensure that a student athlete can be screened for a potentially deadly heart defect that isn't tested for in a routine physical. Put your pocket.
All righty, welcome back to the show.
That was a heated off-air conversation.
Oh, yeah, it's awesome stuff. Right before the break, I wanted to quickly talk about, and Lee, you got tons to share with us, out there with the rentals being so high. Again, any landlord out there, they know they can go ahead and collect a few more. Season sometimes falls off a little in Michigan. For some families, Lee and Noel, you guys can comment on this. Maybe there's some more opportunities out there where a seller will say, yeah, I'll put a deal together.
Absolutely. I'll tell you right now, the real estate market is cyclical. Springtime, if you're a buyer, that's not the time to be in the market. Guess what the time to be in the market is?
In the winter?
Between now and winter.
Oh, great.
End of January, February, wouldn't you say, Noel? That's when things start heating up. But I'll tell you, from now 28 rentals.
Okay.
So we see the rents are unbelievable. What these people are paying, I'm telling them. Hey, I tell these guys, if you've got a decent credit score, our houses, and I'm showing this gal the
One of your
house.
listings?
Huh?
One of your listings?
No, one of our
No,
own.
one of our own houses.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay.
Yeah, so I'm showing this gal a house, and she says,
Yeah, it's not always a no when you're going through a divorce. It can be a no because of, you got a lot going on at that particular point. If you're planning on using alimony or child support, cooler heads prevail typically. They get together with their attorneys, the husband and wife, soon to be ex-spouses, and they go ahead and get the judge to sign. You got a separation agreement that says what's
finished 8th of the pet, like the whole company pet thing. The cutest pet
your dog
contest?
did?
Yeah.
Oh, congratulations!
You didn't vote for him?
I didn't even know there was a pet competition going on.
Before we were dog owners, we didn't allow them. We had a tough time with that.
Okay.
But now that we've become dog owners, there's no way I'm going to turn somebody down.
Now you're a dog lover.
We're dog lovers, that's why.
Basically, it's a manufactured home on a foundation with an addition and a garage. Basically, I ended up paying like $135 for it. Currently owe about $125. I went through a divorce. I got to pull out about
$8,000 from the divorce. Where did that number come from? There's no equity there.
Well, that number came. There was a lot of things involved, actually. Part of the retirement account and half of what they thought the equity was in the house, because it appraised at like $154 recently.
Unbelievable.
All
it
that
is amazing how we do. When we put a house on the market, the one thing, photos sell a house. And
they're dynamite. You'll hear Jamie Samuelson talk about them in the mornings with Stoney and Jamie. So tons to definitely share with you if you're going to be selling a house. I want to thank you guys again. We've got packed